Good morning, everyone. Will Dupree here in the KXAN live studio. We are awaiting a press conference at the moment from the Austin Police Department, and it appears it's about to get underway in just a moment. This is a detective from the department's Child Abuse Unit. They are seeking a person of interest from a 2017 child sex assault case that happened in December of that year. We are getting a good look now at who this suspect and person of interest might be, and the detective in this case is going to be talking about that here in just a moment. So let's take a listen, and we'll wrap up things as soon as he's done speaking. So stay with us.
My name is Detective Daryl Lambert. Daryl is spelled D-A-R-R-E-L. Lambert is L-A-M-B-E-R-T. I'm a detective with the Austin Police Department's Child Abuse Unit. I've been with the Austin Police Department for 12 years and with the Child Abuse Unit for a little over 1. So the reason I've asked to hold this press conference today is that the Austin Police Department's Child Abuse Unit is requesting the public's assistance in locating a person of interest in a 2017 sexual assault of a child. So the incident began when a man believed to be 39-year-old Terry McVade, whose photo you all should have, forced his way into a residence and sexually assaulted a 16-year-old female. This investigation has been ongoing since the assault. However, new physical evidence has recently become available that links McVade to the crime. Detectives believe that Terry McVade is in the Austin area and have been actively searching for him. So if anyone has information about the whereabouts of Terry McVade, they're asked to call Crime Stoppers tip line at 512-472-TIPS, which is 8477, or the APD Child Abuse Unit at 512-974-6880, or of course if there's an emergency you can call 911. And in terms of the investigation, after the assault, it was reported right away, and the victim had a sexual assault exam that was done, and then that exam resulted in DNA evidence that has then been submitted into the CODIS system, and CODIS is a system that's run by the FBI, and it maintains samples of known persons. And when you have a case like this where there is a stranger's or an unknown person's DNA, it's put into the system, and periodically it results in hits or matches. And so that's the match that led us to identify Terry McVade as a person of interest in this case. Through that result came back at the end of October 2019, and I was assigned the follow-up for that result the very next day. So I've been unable to get in touch with Terry McVade. So if anybody has any information about where he is, what car he drives, any sort of phone numbers or social media accounts, if you could call those numbers that we discussed, that'd be really helpful. If anybody has any questions.
You know why it took 3 years for the system to hit?
So these results come back at a time when they come back. The unknown person's DNA that was developed was located in a timely fashion, which was within 8 months of being submitted, which is standard. And once that's submitted into CODIS, there's really no telling when the match is made. It could be that the suspect's DNA wasn't already in there, but I do know that once these samples are submitted, that they are constantly being checked against known samples. And so I can't really speak to why exactly it was, how long it was.
And how does their DNA get submitted to CODIS? Like, how did it match? That's another prior or something that made them submit?
Well, so what I can say is that CODIS maintains samples of known persons, and there are a variety of ways that those can enter into the system, but Terry McVade's sample was in the system, and the unknown person's DNA from this sexual assault of a child was matched up to Terry McVade, so he's been identified as a person of interest.
Was his information recently put into the system, or has it been?
I don't have that information. I'm sorry to cut you off. But his information was put into the system, and like I said, these things are being run constantly. I am not enough of an expert to know exactly how complicated or how long each match takes to make, but the good thing is that these matches are being made, and they're being made every day. So.
When's the last time you had contact with McVade?
So I have not personally had contact with McVade. He was contacted by another agency in August of 2019 at a hotel off of I-35 in Georgetown, Texas. So I do believe that he's in the area, and I know that he has links both to the Central Austin area as well as up in Killeen. So yeah.
Does this have anything to do with the DNA kit backlog?
It doesn't have anything to do with that. No.
Did he have a
nature of the incident, the child's age, how he was in contact with the child?
So the thing about this case is that the child was a 16-year-old female at the time, and he was a stranger to her. So how he chose her as a victim, how the incident occurred in that way, I don't know. But I'm hoping to speak with him, and maybe we can clear up some of those issues.
And I meant the delay. Did the delay have anything to do with the DNA kit backlog?
Yeah, I understood your question, yes, sir. But it had nothing to do with the backlog. Basically, I spoke to the DNA lab, and they were able to confirm it didn't have anything to do with the backlog. You know, if you have further questions, you can contact the DNA lab also.
How did APD become alerted to this incident?
So the victim called APD moments after. This happened about 1 p.m. on December 27th, 2017, and she called the police within about 10 minutes of the assault.
Could you tell us where this happened in Austin?
Yeah, it was in some apartments in the 6600 block of Ed Bluestein Boulevard.
Any details on that incident? I mean, did he force his way in? Did he?
Yeah, he did force his way in. At the time, the victim was at the apartment alone, and she heard a knock on the door, and an unknown male forced his way in, and she was able to describe him. And I can say that the physical descriptors that she provided at the time are consistent with Terry McVade's.
Does he have a violent criminal history?
I can't speak to that.
We'll take one more question.
Is he considered dangerous to the public?
What I can say right now is he's a person of interest. The person who committed this crime I would consider dangerous to the public. I have not been able to positively and finally link him to that, to be that person. But like I said, he's a person of interest. And if anyone has any information, please call the numbers that are listed. Thank you for your time.
Will Dupree, once again here in the KXAN live studio. You just heard from a detective from the Austin Police Department's Child Abuse Unit. And I'm going to take down our live stream because it will likely freeze and be taken down in just a moment. I want to show you the picture of the person of interest that Austin Police now say they're looking for. This is the man whom they're looking for. You can see it right here. His name is Terry McVade. He's 39 years old, and police do believe he is here still in the Austin area. This crime, though, took place back in December 2017. The detective just said that on December 27th, 2017, a man forced his way into an apartment at 6600 Ed Bluestein, and this is just west of US 183 there, forced his way into an apartment and sexually assaulted a 16-year-old girl. The victim called police as soon as it ended, and police have still been looking for a suspect related to this case, and today they are identifying Terry McVade as a person of interest. What the detective said just a moment ago is that some new physical evidence that came back from the scene has now linked Terry McVade to this particular crime. So now police are looking for him. So if you do know him, if you know where he is, or they said if you know of his social media accounts, so clearly they're trying to find him and contact him in different ways, contact police.